Hello everyone, welcome to our episode of Showcase on Nioh. Figured let's do another armor set, this time in the DLC. Now I'll do an interesting one, Kadri's armor set. But you're probably thinking, where's Kadri? Where is he? You didn't see him in the story, so where'd you get his armor set? I'll answer that a bit later, but I figured his armor set's a bit more of an interesting one. Actually, I think it's one of the more effective ones too. But in total, this is the True Date family loyalist set showcase. That's quite a long title there, but no matter. Now let's go on to the lore. Okay, so I said it was Kadri's armor, but here I am showing, well, Shinkinaga's Tuku. Man, his name is hard to pronounce for me. Takakura. I believe I did close enough, but anyway. You're probably throwing question marks for anyone who knows anything about the time period. Well, if you did know, you'd know the answer to this. As some people may know from popular media, Kadri is Masimon's chief advisor, his strategist. This is not him. This is his son. And even Kadri is not the original man's name. It's simply the head of his clan's name. And when he passed away, his son superseded him, Kagakura. So Kadri is also named Kadri. So that's a bit complicated, yes, but in terms of Katakura's history, he's a bit boring. Probably the most boring person on cover. Because he was born a bit late. By the time he came to age, it was the Edo period. The war was over. Mainly he was a official, but that's pretty much as far as it goes. He's a figurehead. So pretty boring. Going on to the axe lore. An axe made for a long swing said to have been wielded by Kagura Shikinaga. Said to be have. Not sure we actually did. It gets its name from the ability to shatter shields in two with a simple downward swing. Again, enemies, I don't think the Japanese used very many shields. The Date clan was in doubt whether they could face Toyotomi Hideyoshi in combat after the siege of Odawara Castle or surrender to off fealty to him. But under the recommendation of Katakura Katasuna, the father of Shinkenshani, also known as Kadri, the original. These names get complicated if you start thinking about it too hard. Date eventually chose surrender. It's said that Masamune offered this axe, which had been in his family heirloom, passed down from his grandfather to Tengashuna's in return for his loyalty. His axe then passed to Katakura's son, Tingshigana. Man, I mispronounced that name so many times. Who has favored the weapon greatly. As for the Tatawari's axe itself, I did not find any actual evidence of it. Could not find any indication. Moving on. Going over the stats for Tatawari axe, well, it comes built in with two little effects. One is brand new to the DLC effect, for the weakened armor, at least for the arm category. When you do strike an enemy, it weakens the enemy's defensive value. And you can see it goes specifically for the arms, though it's only by 10%, well, at least in the base stats. The other thing built in is the True Date family loyalist set, which we'll go over very shortly. Going on to the scaling. Body is a D+, stamina is a C+, and strength is a B+. The standard scaling for most axes. Nothing new or exciting there. Now going on to Kadri's armor, in terms of weight, it's actually one of the lighter sets out there. In terms of body and skill, you don't need a whole lot either, so it's pretty light. So definitely pretty good on that end, but though that means it doesn't have nearly as much toughness as other armor sets out there, but if you're pretty good at dodging, you'll need it. Now for the set bonus for the True Date family loyalist. You need 6 pieces, which is the all armor set in the axe. And for 2 pieces you get damage reduction, which is minuscule, it's only 1.6%. At 3 pieces you get pretty much lowering an enemy's defense with range attacks, which we'll be testing later because that's a pretty significant amount of 52%, at least that I have at the moment. You get 4 pieces, you get close combat damage increases, which is pretty good. Another interesting effect, you get the self and allies healed when enemies are defeated, in close combat anyway. That is 104. 5 pieces, your strong attack for key damage will be increased by 12%, which I'll just use the axe to prove that. And 6, the same effect for self-healing as you get at 4 pieces. So it's essentially doubled. Very interesting in terms of that regard. Kind of a good incentive to get all 6 pieces and wear them. Now, if it's actually any use, we'll find out. Mainly I'm interested in the 3 pieces of lower enemy defense, but we shall see. Alright, first we'll do the lower enemy defense. Shown with the notch lock, and we see the enemy's defense did in fact drop, or we saw the proc, but I don't see any active effects there. I shot him again, and we can see the proc is there, and I throw a knife, and yes, 881 damage. That is certainly more damage than it should be doing, but we'll give it a moment to lower his overall, or get his defense back. And now that I'm hurt, I can also test that healing effect after. Let's see, now let's try throwing knives. A tremendous difference. That's 200 damage difference. You can imagine when I use my axe on that. Alright, let's try the health regain. Okay, I'll throw and keep a good eye on my health gauge, and you can see right there, that's quite a good chunk from one enemy. Doesn't matter what kind of enemy, just one. That's pretty good. Let's see it again. Okay, let's bash this person's face in. And one hit. And there we go. Nice. So that's very useful. Now, the key damage. But it has to be strong attacks, so I went to the strong stance. You can see definitely getting a lot of key damage, but I need a stronger opponent. So let's go up the stairs to fight the snakehead. I forget their names. Their names are complicated anyway. Alright. These opponents are a bit of more of a nuisance. But you can see I'm doing a lot of key damage with an axe. Certainly a large amount, but it's only 12%, so it is a small, minuscule amount that I'm doing extra. But oh well. Still fairly good and fairly helpful. Is it the best thing in the set? No, it's mainly you want to go for is that lower defense with ranged attacks. That and the healing upon killing an enemy. Let's move on to the pros and cons of the Date family loyalist set. Now, on pros, you easily get your health back upon defeating enemies with the full set, as we saw, and you can easily butcher enemies' defense with ranged attacks, which is also pretty good, especially useful on bosses, no doubt, if you can squeeze that in. The cons, however, is the main weapon is an axe, which is relatively a bit slow. That and the overall toughness for the armor set is also rather low for it being so light. Alright, those are the two significant cons in my book. Going on to the score. Effects, I'll give it 8 out of 10. You get a lot of, well, pretty much a very high amount of healed back, and how much defense is lost on your enemy. At least for my set, at least at high level 150. For the set bonus itself, I give it 8 out of 10 as well. Because we can heal yourself and lower the overall defense of your enemy, that's pretty significant. You don't have to use the axe, I don't really see. You could just use it in your alternative slot. Alright. For the weight, also an 8 out of 10. For weight, it's not the lightest armor set, but certainly one of the lightest. So that's not really a problem there. Miscellaneous, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Even though it's not truly needed, but for a lot of intermediate players, it's probably a good one to go with. For people who are X on dodging, it's not really needed at that point. But no matter, still excellent. So in total, I give the Date Loyalist family set 32 out of 40. It's an excellent armor set for sure. Definitely so. And that covers that. So there you go, a good armor set that doesn't use an Odachi. Interesting. There are other weapons out here that's been added that aren't Odachis to this DLC, and I'll go through them all. Just takes time. Anyway, that's the video for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Hope to see you guys next time. Take care out there.